You have reached Red Steele's Toy Collector Review. I'm your man, Red Steele, and today I'll be reviewing from Transformers Age of the Primes, Alchemist Prime. Transformers Age of the Primes, Alchemist Prime. But before I get into the actual review, I just want to go over some of the awesome details on this packaging. Up front here, Tube will show you what the figure and all the accessories inside. In the top corner here, you have More Than Meets the Eye. Below that, you have the Autobot symbol. In the middle here, since it takes 17 steps to transform him. And on the very bottom here, you have the 8+, which is the age requirement for this figure. The other side of the packaging, you have two beautiful illustrations of Alchemist Prime, both in his robot mode and in the Cybertron armored car mode. Across the bottom here, it says Transformers Age of the Prime. Then on the bottom here, you have the 13 Alchemist Prime. In the other corner here, you have the Hasbro emblem. At the top of the packaging here, again, you have the 13 Alchemist Prime. And in this corner, this time, you have the Takara Tomy logo. The other side of the packaging here, you have this beautiful profile shot of Alchemist Prime. Below that, you have Transformers Age of the Primes. And on the very bottom here, it says the 13 Alchemist Prime. The other side of the packaging here, on the very top it says, Till All Are One. In the middle here, this beautiful illustration of some of the Primes. Down here you have Transformers Age of the Primes. And on the very bottom here it says it is a deluxe class figure. Then at the back of the packaging here, on the very top it says, the 13 Alchemist Prime. In the middle you have all the figures featured, such as Alchemist Prime in his robot mode, Alchemist Prime in his Cybertron armored car mode, and over here it says it takes 17 steps to get there. Then over here the lens artifact. Above that you have Alchemist Prime using the lens. Then over here you have the More Than Meets the Eye authentic logo. In the bottom corner you have the Hasbro emblem. Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class, the 13 Alchemist Prime. Alchemist Prime is released August 2025 with the suggested retail price of $24.99 and is available at all major retailers. Alchemist Prime was released along with the other Transformers Age of the Prime Deluxe Class Wave 2 figures, Vortex, and Crasher. Alchemist Prime is a Transformers universe-inspired figure that converts to a Cybertronian armored car mode in 17 steps. His accessories include his two-piece lens artifact and instructions. Alchemist Prime stands 5.5 inches tall and he is meant for fans ages 8 and up. Now I'm going to go ahead and convert Alchemist Prime from his robot mode all the way to his Cybertronian armored car mode. But the first thing you always want to do before you transform any of your Transformers, you want to remove all their weapons and accessories. So I'm going to take his lens artifacts. I'm going to put these off to the side. So the first step of the transformation, you have his chest panel right there. Bottom of his chest panel, you have a hinge joint right there. I'm going to take his chest panel, you want to pry it open just like that. So step number 2, you have his head. Below his head, you have this hinge joint. You want to take his head and flip it right into his chest, just like that. So step number 3, we're going to go into that chest panel now. We're going to close it up just like that. Because step number 4, you have Alchemist Prime's waist right here. It's on a swivel joint. We want to take this bottom portion and rotate it all the way around, just like that. So step number 5, we want to turn over Alchemist Prime. You have his legs right there and right there. You have this panel right here and right here. You have a hinge joint right there and right there. We want to take these leg panels, we want to flip them open just like that. Do that to your side of that leg panel, and flip it open just like that. So step number 6, you have Alchemist Prime's feet right there and right there. You have a hinge joint right there and right there. You want to take his foot, flip it into his leg just like that. Do that to your side of that foot, right in the leg just like that. So step number 7, you have these tabs right here, the portholes. You want to go and tab his legs together, just like that. So step number 8, you want to take Alchemist Prime's arms now. You want to bring them up just like that, and just like that. So step number 9, you have Alchemist Prime's fist here and here. You have a hinge joint right there and right there. You want to take his fist, bring it right into his forearm just like that. Do that to your side, bring his fist, bring it right into the forearm, just like that. So step number 10, you have a hinge joint right there and right there. You want to take a shoulder joint, you want to pop it out just like that. Do that to your side, take this arm piece or shoulder piece and pop it out just like that. So step number 11, you have another hinge joint right there and right there. You want to go and take that arm piece, you want to flip it forward just like that. Do that to your side, you want to flip the arm piece out just like that. Step number 12, you want to turn Alchemist Prime here. Get these leg pieces here. Get a hinge joint right there and right there. Once you take this leg piece now, you want to bend it down just like that. So step number 13, get his arms right there and right there. You have a hinge joint right there and right there. Once you take these arm pieces, you want to flip them all the way back just like that. Do that to you, like that arm piece, flip it back just like that. You want them to kind of meet in the middle. You want to tap everything right into place just like that. So step number 14, with that leg piece now, with that hinge joint, you want to bring them up just like that. This is step number 15. You have these two panels right there and right there. You have a hinge joint right there and right there. You want to these two panels now. You want to go ahead and close them up and over the leg just like that and tap them right into place in the middle just like that. So step number 16, you have that windshield right there. You have a hinge joint right there. Go to that windshield. You want to flip it up just like that. Then the 17th and final step, go to that windshield, bring it down, you want to tap it into place, make sure everything's all together, and now you have Alchemist Prime in its full Cybertronian armored car mode. Now that I have Alchemist Prime in this Cybertronian armored car mode, and on my display table, so I'm going to go over some of his display features and accessories, first by talking about this pair of lens artifacts. And these lens artifacts are pretty cool because they're molded out of like a translucent blue plastic, so it kind of gives it that blue energon glow to it. Plus you got some molded detail here. There's some molded ancient symbols too, which are prevalent to this Transformers mythology because they are actually featured on the Generation 1 cartoon series, Season 3, 5 Faces of Darkness, where they kind of go over the lore of the Autobots and Decepticons and how they came about and overcame the Quintessons. And these symbols are featured on that part of the series. But in order to store these accessories on Alchemist Prime while he's in his vehicle mode, you need to put these lenses together. And they combine together just like that. And they clip together. And you got to be careful because when you put them on top of Alchemist Prime, you have two portholes right there. On the bottom of the lenses, you have these pegs right there. But they kind of come apart a little bit when they're pegged together. So you got to kind of line everything up and peg it together just like that. And now you have his lens artifact stored while Alchemist Prime is in his Cybertronian armored car mode. Very cool play feature. Now I don't know the story behind or the lore behind the lenses here, but they look like a pair of glasses. They got pegs on the end here for some reason. I know in robot mode he can arm them as individual swords, but I wonder if later on they're going to do something where all these weapons combine into something special, or maybe these are glasses for a bigger Titan robot, which would be really, really cool. But in vehicle mode, Alchemist Prime has a lot of great detail here. And I don't know canon-wise whether or not Alchemist Prime arms himself with these lenses while he's in his vehicle mode, so I'm going to go and leave it there for the purpose of this review because I don't know the lore behind Alchemist Prime. I know he's featured on like Cyberverse, and they've used the name on several other Transformer toy lines, like I believe in Titans Returns or Combiner Wars. I know there's a Alchemist Prime, but I'm not sure where he falls. And I know with Age of the Primes, they're trying to, make the Primes canon right now, where they're actually going to make physical figures for that whole mythology behind the Primes, which is really cool because there's gonna be 13 of these, and I would recommend picking up this guy because he's fantastic. I know I felt that Solus Prime was kind of a dud, but I think I just had a bad copy. She's a cool figure, don't get me wrong. So I would say if you really, really want to collect all 13 Primes, I've not seen a bad one so far. And this design is really cool. I mean, you get the wheels, and they do roll on surfaces. I mean, on carpeted surfaces, it does roll. On like maybe hard surfaces like this, they do not roll. But I would really recommend rolling Alchemist Prime at any abrasive surfaces because the wheels are molded out of a solid plastic here, so it causes damage to the actual wheel. And this front part of the undercarriage does hang kind of low, so if you roll across any concrete, you do risk causing some chest damage to this panel right here. But nonetheless, it's still a cool figure. I'm going to rotate him around so you can see what's from all angles. But if you really are a completist, I would highly recommend picking up Alchemist Prime. He's not disappointing. His transformation is very fun. And the one thing with the fist back here, in the instructions it tells you to put the fist all the way into the forearm. But the problem with that is it does not fit. Plus it causes stress marks because this green plastic and black plastic stress is very easy because I have that with, there's a little tab here which I don't really think it's a big deal because it's a small little tab, but I had to kind of force it in this little slot here and it caused a little stress mark. So I do not recommend forcing the fist all the way into the forearm because it conceals rather nicely in the back of the truck. But I would really highly recommend picking up this figure. Fun figure, pretty small. I wouldn't say he's so much a deluxe class figure, but there isn't really a ranking below deluxe class at this point in time. They have Alchemist Prime in this robot mode, and on my display table, I once again want to go over some of his plate features and accessories by bringing out the lenses again. And according to the instructions, we're going to arm Alchemist Prime with these lenses while he's in his robot mode. Next on the bottom of the lenses here, you have a 5mm peg right there. Each one of his fists is a 5mm porthole. Take that lens, put it right into his fist, just like that. Do that to the other fist, take that lens, put it right into his fist, just like that. And now you have Alchemist Prime armed with both of his lenses. Very, very cool. But there's also a way to combine the lenses to form a super weapon. You can do that by extending the arms fully out, just like that. Right at the bicep and where the biceps and the shoulders meet, you have a swivel joint, so you gotta turn them in just like that, and just like that. Then you combine the lenses together, just like that, and now you have Alchemist Prime with his super weapon where the lenses are both combined. Very, very cool. I'm going to go ahead and untab that and put them back the way they are naturally, where they're two blades. Because Alchemist Prime to me is a pleasant surprise. I mean, I did not know of his existence before this toy line, but I mean, you look at the face detail right there. I mean, how many Transformers do you see? I don't know if you guys can focus in on it. Wait, see if I can zoom in on it. Where he has a mustache, and he has kind of like that beard on the bottom of his chin. He's got goggles right there. He kind of looks like one of those old school race drivers. Very, very cool. Very bulky. He's a smaller Transformer. He's not very tall. He's only 5.5 inches tall. Just very nicely done. Very, very thick and sturdy. And I love that Hasbro and Takara are really taking some cares necessary to prevent a lot of hollow parts, because usually on the back of their Transformers, you have hollow spaces, and they're doing a great job in doing some mold detail where it's covering these hollow spaces. I mean, the only hollow space I see is in the forearm, but that's prevalent in the transformation because the fist does flip into the forearm. And you got that gap right there, but that's not really such a big deal because it's nicely concealed if you have him displayed. But Alchemist Prime's really cool. He has some good points of articulation, very sturdy Transformer, he doesn't feel cheap, nice plastic, just a nice paint job. I mean, you look at the paint scheme on Alchemist Prime, it's all that metallic paint that's on it. On the thigh here, you have gray metallic paint, you have metallic paint on his knees right there, even on his face. You shine certain angles of leg, get that luster. But Alchemist Prime is a fantastic figure, and I highly recommend picking him up if you have a chance. Very, very nicely done. But I'm going to rotate him around so you can see what it looks like from all angles. Well, if you guys found any of the information in this review valuable, please like and share this video. Also, really enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel, and while you're there, click the bell to be notified of any future videos. I want to thank you guys for watching Steele's Toy Collector Review. I'll check you guys out next time.